All right. So I'm going to go share.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Give us just a second. We are sharing into the groups. I should go this way. All right. So I'm going to into the support group. All right. So I'm going to.
Hey, Marinella, Leanne, and Danielle, and Hope. And Mark, I seen you in the main one, but I don't have the main one loaded up yet. Hey, Mark. Hey, Shamika and Jenna. And I will be there in a second to the main one, getting that one back. Hey, and I'm back. Hey, Leslie and Mark. Hey. Hey, Leslie's over here too. Hey, Robin. Hey, V. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody, to tonight's session of Let's Talk Autism. Hey, Mark, how are you this evening? If you are very new, this is our Let's Talk Autism live session. We do this every Sunday. It's open discussion. So if you have questions, suggestions, concerns, you can put it all out there. Um, it's all about parents helping parents. My name is Nita. I am one of the admins of this wonderful establishment.
And I am Linda. I am the other admin.
I'm going to share this one more place. And if you're on the main page, you are free to share this broadcast. The more, the merrier. All right.
Hey, Amber. Hey, Sonia and Nicole.
Hey, Nicole and Sonia. Hey, Leslie. How are you? So you have a watch party open?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Oh, mhm.
Okay. Once again, this is our Let's Talk Autism session. So, any questions you have, suggestions, concerns, anything that has to do with autism and us, you are free to share tonight. That's what it's all about is parents helping parents. If you are here and really don't know anything about autism, you are free to throw your question out into the chat area. If you see a question you can answer, feel free to chime in the chat. Towards the end of this broadcast, we will welcome any parent who'd like to join us live. So if you want to come on with us and say hello or say anything, then you'll be free to join us then. But that'll be towards the end.
We usually spend the last 5-10 minutes with others on here with us. Okay, hopefully that heart that just went up. I think that's the same person who just sent the angry face up. So hopefully the first one was either they were angry about something that wasn't related to this live or it was an accident.
Okay.
Hey Ashton
Hey,
and
Ashton, how are you?
Miriam and hey Miriam.
Um, you think I should start a watch party or just leave what you
Oh
have?
yeah, yeah. No, I think
Okay.
you should. Start.
Okay.
Hey Mary, and so this week was really big. We this month or this year really. Yes, Mark, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. Mark says because everybody's on a different platform, I mean different room right now. Again, congratulations for the group growing. Amazing job. So some of us, all of us came different times. Last December we hit 1,000 members, and this December we hit 54,000 members. So the support
Awesome.
has grown. The support has
Awesome.
grown.
And
54,000
thanks to
members strong. Yes.
everybody here.
Yes.
Thanks to
Thank you,
everybody here.
everybody.
And we have a lot in the works
We
as we
do.
grow and things start happening. Things will start happening.
Yes. So not only were we able to grow the 54,000 strong of support, we've even been able to autism and us as a support group. We've also been able to become a nonprofit organization.
Yes, wonderful accomplishment. Hey,
Yes.
Stephanie and Ebony.
Very big year.
Mhm. Yes, things are just moving right along, right along.
Yep.
So if you're just joining us once again, this is our Sunday live Let's Talk Autism session where anything autism goes. So sit back, relax with a drink and some snacks. And if you have questions, um, answers, concerns, comments, you can throw them out in the chat. If you see a question you can help with, feel free to chime right on in the chat room. It's all about parents helping parents, and we do this every Sunday. Hi, Leela, or Lily. Is it Layla? Lily? How are you? Welcome.
Hey, Charles.
Mr.
Welcome.
Charles, is that Mr. Charles? Hey,
Yes.
Mr. Charles.
And hey, Steph, Australia. Steph in Australia.
Hey, Jonathan, how are you? So, just so you guys know, we have a few screens open. So you'll probably see us.
Yes,
You'll probably see us saying hello to somebody and you don't see them and probably wondering where are they at.
exactly.
Mhm.
And Tracy says, sorry, guys, hit the angry face by mistake. Good to know. Thank you. Because I've
Okay.
seen tons of hearts from you since, so that's good. Good to know.
Mhm.
Um, and Brandy says, I have a 3-year-old who's almost 4 and still doesn't talk. How and where do I get him evaluated? What things should they look for if he has it? What state are you in? And for right this moment, I'm going to say take him to his pediatrician. That's the first place to begin. Pediatrician. Your pediatrician will refer you out to the appropriate resources. Uh, that he will know, or he or she will know where to send you.
Yes, definitely if you have concerns.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Crystal and Ashley. Hope I've already said hi and how are you? Um, Ashley says, what can I do to help my son calm down when the phone or tablet dies? That's a hard one. That's a that's the hard one for my daughter. My daughter's 14. I mean, that's hard for across the board. My daughter's 14. That's the main cause for meltdowns for Emily. That's almost the final meltdown for Emily that we're dealing with. She's just now starting to use her words when that happens, and she's 14. Um, how old is he? We're dealing with ABA with that one. ABA is helping us.
Yeah, I think
Um,
a lot of our babies have issues with that
mhm.
too.
Yes. So here in well, I mean, everybody deals with power outages and things like that. So here in California, we had the fires. So our power was being shut off purposely for days at a time. We have to plan for 72 hours at a time. Then it takes
Wow.
a few days to get it back up. So yeah, we had to, we really had to think that one through just in case, because the Wi-Fi was going to be down, and then we had to have the backup batteries for the phones, and then the phone service. So yeah, that was that was worrisome.
Wow.
Again, I asked how old he is. The biggest thing that I think, what we were thinking, and what ABA actually said was less time on the phone to begin with. And then when you plan less time on the phone, then when you say it's downtime on the phone, when the phone dies or goes out or Wi-Fi goes out, then it's almost like you could say it's one of those downtimes on the phone. It's a little bit easier when it's time to get off the phone. It's not easy to start though. It's like withdrawal, anything from anything. Hope says I had to help through the early steps program. Oh, I had help through the early steps program. Do you have something like that where you live?
Yeah, I have.
See what
We
we
have
had.
early on.
Okay. And we see what we have in California is we have regional centers. And regional centers, so we have our pediatrician, they send us to our regional centers, which you have a regional center throughout the state, and you go to your region's center. And then they have all the resources and they set up all your services. And then they send you out to they send ABA, speech, everything that you need. Um, so I guess it would depend on what state you're in and what you need. But he's 3, so he would be in school district
Hmm.
technically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he'd be in school
we
district.
had
Yeah,
early on, and from
yeah.
early on, they
Hmm.
they started him with therapy, and then they put him in the preschool program.
Yeah. So
So,
what he would need is he would actually need something from his doctor uh, stating that he actually would need the special needs services to
mhm.
get into that program. So he would have to start somewhere again with needing those services.
Yeah, because they will if they have an early intervention program.
Mhm.
The doctor is the best place to get the paperwork to get that started.
Yeah,
And you can make that
exactly.
phone call. They'll give you the
Mhm.
numbers and everything to call.
Yes. Yeah.
Ebony, hi Ebony. Ebony
Hello.
says I have a 7-year old who is nonverbal and he's still in diapers. His name is King. He is the sweetest boy you'll ever meet. But King is super active. Sound like DeAndre already. He
Mhm.
out the house last night. And, oh no, I'm sorry. And was missing for 30 minutes. I
Oh
almost
my
lost my
goodness.
mind. I can imagine. We had more locks put on the doors today. Wow. Okay. I know you almost lost your mind.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I'm glad you got him back. 30 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Jonathan says my son has autism. He will be 14 tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday. And is on his junior band on the drum line. Well, all right. All right. Please keep us in your prayers. This is Ebony. He's my 7 kid. It's tough. You're definitely in our prayers, Ebony. Definitely. Leslie says we have early learning in PA. Okay. Yeah, well, Leslie,
Mhm.
That's sort of a interest into like ABA. Do they start them off with ABA? I know you're saying
See,
not close to the area
well,
or
yeah, remember
play
in
therapy.
Pennsylvania, remember they had it like 4 hours away from her. They had it
Oh,
in
okay,
Philadelphia, not in
okay,
Pittsburgh,
okay.
because the resources were scarce there for Leslie. Uh, Amy says her grandson is 12 and he has autism. It's just a
Hey,
little younger.
Victoria.
Mm, Brandy's in Ohio. Or
Hey, Lori.
um,
How are you?
Brandy. Yeah, I would start with the pediatrician, and your pediatrician, if whatever you have, the pediatrician will direct you to an evaluation.
Mark says he's still here. He's over in my watch party. I apologize. I'm a bit behind. You're okay, Mark. You're okay. Yeah,
And,
Facebook.
Ashley says he's 5 and they don't know how she doesn't know how to get ABA started.
Who is that?
What can I do? Oh, Ashley, the one with the is he in school? Ashley, the one with the phone issue. Ashley's in yeah, is he in school? He's 5. And you guys, when you guys ask a question, if you guys remember, try to put your state right behind it, because if your state is there's some stuff that we've learned about certain states, and then it'll help. If I can remember some of the state's resources, it can um, it can help a little, and it'll help other parents too because they're there too. They'll know some of the resources.
Okay. And Leslie
Um,
says, wow, Grace got out the house one time before we know she was autistic. Scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah.
That is
Mhm.
scary.
Oops.
Victoria says, I could use the de stress myself. Starbucks. Oh, Lori, you having coffee? Oh,
Yes. Yeah, that would be good. We thought about that too, a generator. We'll probably have to do that next fire season. You know what we're going to do was we were going to just charge our phones and devices if we needed to in our cars because we did have our cars. Anita, it's your question, the
what?
ABA question.
What about it? Oh,
Somebody asked what ABA is.
oh, I'm like, well,
You
what
know,
about
I did the food one. Yeah, you do the ABA one.
it? Um, ABA is applied behavior analysis, and they work with your child depending on what your goals are. So, for me, for instance, with my son, is more independence to learn a little more of how to do things for himself without relying on mama so much. And they help with all all sorts of things. They help with his hygiene, showers and such, making sure he's brushing his teeth properly. They help with mealtime, make sure he's eating and cleaning off his plates. They teach him about safety, all types of things. He's been talking more because she's been helping him express himself through verbally instead of just pulling on people or pointing pointing at what he wants. So they've helped with that, and he's been able to talk a little more. A lot of things. She's even sat with him, helping him to write. So it just depends on what your goals are for your child to
Mhm.
do. And I'm with Centria. We do 2 days at home and 2 days center base. And that's the other thing, socialization. So he goes to the center so he can buddy up with a friend so they can learn, both of them learn how to share and, you know, not being loners, but learning how to socialize with other kids and doing things. And he's been progressing pretty much. So it's very helpful, very helpful. I hope that helps.
Mhm. Yes, lots of states have early child intervention, and and then they have, yeah, when they're three, they go to pre-K, and they go to pre-K. So your medical insurance will cover it. It's mandated by the law. I mean, by federal law, uh, for medical to pick it up, and then school district picks up at 3 years old, and then but they go with the same kind of like an IEP, but it has to be under like you can't just put your child in there and say, oh, my child needs special services. It has to go with the recommendation of the special need.
Sonia says my mom is not in the group but wants to buy a calendar. Okay, we have a link on the main page, Sonia, and in the group. Anyone who clicks on that link can get a calendar. If she comes to the main page, it's open. So, or you can just copy and paste the link and send her to the website. It's on a page of its own, so she can get it
Yeah, because
that way.
the main page is a public page. Hey, Dinah. Hey, Victoria. Veronica.
Jennifer says, I have a 2-year old autistic nonverbal baby girl. She has never eaten a solid food. Here you go. This is one for you. In her short little 2 years of life, she's solely thriving on very expensive formula, tons of GI issues, and more. She's literally the sweetest, most beautiful baby girl. I'm learning more daily. It's been a challenging but rewarding experience. I also have a 4-year-old as well. He is neurotypical, and it's been a tough experience. He doesn't understand why she's a little different than he is, but he is learning too, and he loves her. It's really the best. Also, so blessed for this group. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Now her baby has GI issues.
Hmm. That's what I often wonder with the ones that have very limited diet is if they have that diet because they know when they ate certain things that made their stomach upset or it made it feel them feel a certain way.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I know Emily will eat most of her foods are dry foods or
Uh-huh.
they're proteins, but she doesn't eat many wet foods at all. And I wondered if there was just certain foods that made her stomach feel upset.
And they just they know to stay away from them.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Lori says, "How can I teach my son?" Did you do this one? No. How can I teach my son safety? The reason I am asking because my son got away from me, almost got hit by a car. If I didn't stop him from going into the road.
That would be something you would really have to be consistent on working with them. Now, because I am a fan of ABA. If
Yes.
you are in ABA or considering it, that could be something they can work with you on. They will actually take your son out, you know, and work with him crossing streets and showing them what danger is. But that's something you have to really be consistent with, letting them know that it's dangerous. So I would say a little therapy, some type of therapy, not necessarily ABA, but you know, to help with that.
Yes.
Hi, Alexis. And Alexis, What is, she must mean, what is GI?
Yeah, Victoria answered.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
And Stephanie says, any advice on how to get great grandparents to understand that constant babying our HFA, high functioning autistic 6-year old, will only make him regress? It's hard with grandparents. Um, I have my parents, they baby my son. They still think of him as their baby. But I mean, actually, he's been doing pretty good, but I do have to talk to them consistently. He's not the baby. You have to treat him like, the boy that he is. But I think that's kind of, I think that's how, what you think, Linda, about great grandparents, baby. And she says they
I mean,
baby her 6-year old.
yeah, I mean, I see it. Well, I don't know. I see that with dad and daughter here. I mean, it's daddy's little girl. I mean, I can see that happening with grandparents too. I think it's just an easy thing to do, anyways. And then even just the youngest child. I mean, it's just a thing that happens. But yeah, I mean, as a parent, you still have, the right to say something. But I think it's most important with an autistic child that you need that consistency, and there's more reason not to do it because you have to, the child's learning.
Hmm. Yeah, you probably have to
Uh,
say, stop it. We're
mhm,
trying to do something.
yes, yeah. Um,
Stephanie says, we've talked to them till we're blue in the face and they just don't listen. Yeah. Yeah. I understand because my parents are the same way. My parents are the same. But you just have to keep on. And I don't think he necessarily, well, with my child, from the personal standpoint, he's not regressing, but he knows when he's with the grandparents, he knows he can do certain things or get away with certain things. I mean, he's smart. He knows. I'm going to grandma's and grandpa's, so I know. But when he gets
mhm,
home, you know, he knows it's a different ball game.
mhm. Hey, Steve, could you turn that light on?
You have that same problem too, Leslie, with grands.
Oh, I thought he was back there.
Stephanie says his great grandmother uses the excuse he likes to be babied, and his mentality is of a 4-year old, even though he's at second grade level. Yeah, and again, and I'm not making excuses for them, but yeah, they grandparents tend to um, be that way. I have parents like that too. Now my son is 13 in 8th grade, but his mentality is like 4-year old, I'm gonna say. So to them, I guess if he's acting, my mother still says, "Come here, Bookie," that type of stuff. Where's my booby? Uh, yeah, I guess we just have to keep talking, Stephanie. I don't know. Anyone else in the chat um, have any suggestions for kind of getting grandparents to understand? Oh, so while we're waiting here, someone was talking about the different levels of autism in the support group earlier. Well, every child, it just depends on where you get your child evaluated at. There are several different types of tests that I found out. Several. So depending on what type of test, type of scale they use, from your questions to their observations, and if that testing requires levels, then that's what you'll see on the evaluation sheet. So I have one that has his levels, and the other one just has her report. So there's different types. So not all evaluations or diagnosis will have a level. Now, what you can do if you really are concerned about getting levels is when you get your report. If it's not the doctor, if you're in communication with the actual doctor that get the report, you can sit down and ask them to go through it with you, and they will tell you, well, it would be this level or that. Or you could take that report to your child's doctor or specialist that's going to be caring for them for the autism side. So, but not all tests will have levels. Some do and some don't. And I keep forgetting to look up the name of the different tests, but there's several. There's a lot.
Um, Sheila says, my nonverbal 3.5-year-old girl is not diagnosed because my hubby refuses to allow it. He thinks it will label her and she will suffer in life.
Only thing, the advantage to that, and I've heard a lot of people say that before, don't think of it as a label because, I mean, everything's a label, right? What I would say is if your child is having issues and he knows it, that label will open up the door for the support you need, the help you need, or and the services. So I would talk to him, you know, about that because
And
it. Oh,
uh,
go ahead.
and I would say because she's prone to suffer without the label if she does have autism because time is ticking. And if
Yes.
she's going without services and she does have autism, time, valuable time is going by in this window of opportunity to have early intervention. So it's important to look into this as the assessment time right now.
Yeah. The earlier, the better.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
earlier you can start those services, the better.
Yes.
So Charles has up here, my late first wife Judy and I ran into to the same issue with her grandmother and great aunt when raising our neurotypical daughter. Our solution was to move away. Well, I guess that'll solve it. Hey, Ellen. Dinah says it's all about teaching them what your expectations are for your child. Sometimes, even with NT children, we as grandparents get to do the things we could not do with our own children. But it's important to know that acceptance comes in many shapes and forms. Very well said.
Sheila says, I agree so much. Thank you. He still thinks she is little and will grow out of it. And she says, and I said, it's hard because we as parents don't always think alike.
Yeah, it's hard when, um, and then it may not be autism, there's other things, but
Exactly. Yeah,
so you have to have it open to see what's going on.
exactly.
That's your
Because
first
if
thing.
it's, yeah, exactly, because it may not be. It could be hearing. It could be just the speech delay. It could be autism. But whatever it is, it's time to do an assessment. Get the assessment down, done. Whatever it is, you'll find out. If it's not, the label, then you'll know that now. And then you can, figure it out. And then, she'll start talking, if that's what she'll do. But if it's autism, then right now the services will begin. And Sheila, what we did was, I knew something was different at 14 months, only at 14 months, till, right up until the day. It was just one day. It was an instant that I knew something was different. And before that, everything was perfect. Everything was milestones. Everything. There were, even looking back, like, there were a few things that, like, okay, she had a thing, like, she did this, but everything else, all her milestones, and she even walked early. There were things like that. There wasn't anything she didn't do until she didn't laugh when I tickled her one day. Everything else was like right on par. Like, it was like she was just perfect, um, until the day she didn't smile. So at 14 months, when I knew it, I took her to her pediatrician. It was right at that well baby check, and they sent her out. But what happened was, because she was so young, they started services, they started early intervention, but they didn't diagnose her right away because she was so young. But they did start early intervention, because they said, well, we don't want to diagnose her, because what if she does early intervention, and then in a year things are right on track, and she's doing things. We don't want to put the diagnosis there. So if they feel like, if they feel like this might be the case with her, they will tell you that. But if they don't, I mean, go take her, and it's not going to be any harm. They'll talk to you when you get
Linda,
there.
Linda,
Mhm.
Dinah and Leslie are saying they're having a hard time hearing you.
I wonder, what, can you hear me fine,
Yeah,
Nita?
I can hear you.
Oh,
I
I
can hear
wonder what
you.
that is. And yeah, I wonder what that is. Steve, can you hear me?
Is everybody having a hard time hearing Linda?
Oh, Annie. Hello, Linda, your story. Yeah, see, it was so strange, because it was just like the little things that she did. When I look back, they were just cute little things.
Hmm.
She didn't like us to clap, and she would grab our hands. We're like, oh, that's so cute. There was nothing, there was nothing like different, until, like I said, the day that, and I would tickle her every day on the bed like that, until the one day that she didn't laugh. She didn't giggle that day, and I
Oh,
knew it. I knew it that day, and I told Steve. At first I told myself, I'm not going to say it today, because I'm jumping the gun, and of course I couldn't hold back, and I said, something tells me, like, I think Emily has autism. I don't know what made me think it so
Linda,
strongly like that.
Linda, Linda,
They still can't hear me still.
they're saying it sounds like you're whispering
Okay,
real
let me
soft.
see. Um. Oh, so maybe Steve can't hear me, and that's why he didn't respond. Okay, let me take these off and let's see.
Okay.
Steve. Oh, okay. Hold on one second, guys.
All right, Charles, you can't grow out of autism.
Can you hear me
Definitely
this way,
can't go
Nita?
out.
Nita, can you hear me this way?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have a problem. You
Okay, sorry.
sound good to me.
Yeah, I don't have headphones on now. Can you guys hear me this way now?
Can you guys hear her now? Leslie, Dinah, Charles, can you guys hear her?
Oh.
Mark says it's hard. I have a sister that won't accept that my son has autism, but we always say he is loved by many. We we all deal with things different, But I always tell my son he has family, friends that love and care. That's right, Mark. That's right. As long as you guys keep showing him the love. Okay, they're saying yes, they can hear you.
Okay, so that is better. Okay. Maybe my headphones were going low. Okay, so Sheila says that there are so many signs to me other than nonverbal. It's definitely something. Is there is no eye contact or understanding. Annie says, Linda, your story is very similar to mine. Um, Sheila says, yeah, mine wouldn't, Annie says, mine wouldn't look at us at all at 14 months. And then Annie says, everything was on point as far as milestones. And yes, looking back, there were little things. Yeah. So that's why Annie said that. What I said was just like she said her story was very similar to mine, and just like
I
I said, it was just like everything that she did, like the things that I look back and I noticed that were there the first year up to 14 months. There were just little things that we just thought were cute, but
right.
I could say were probably it was probably stemming though.
Yeah, like I guess I was blinded by a lot of things, but now, after I accepted the fact that something was wrong because I was in denial for a minute. And then when I had time to sit back and look back at little things like him not holding his bottle, it was way beyond 7 months before he even tried to hold his own bottle. He
Yeah.
didn't crawl until it was after 10 months when he first started to crawl. And then he
Yeah.
didn't walk until 15 months. So it was
Yeah.
little things that I kind of pushed to the side. But his
Yeah.
dad noticed.
Yeah. And the one thing that I did ignore was that she learned those she the one thing that I should have known was the words that she learned that were big words, and she learned them I want to say like 8 9 months. Like she learned elephant, balloon, bubbles, those words, and then she lost them. But maybe I was thinking, oh no, she maybe she really wasn't saying those. But that was the real big oddity. But she did learn how to walk like 9 and a half, 10 months,
Hmm.
and she crawled early, things like that. But my other ones did too. The ones right before, only my first one didn't walk early.
Okay. Yeah, my son,
So those
he
two
was
girls
a
did.
late, he was a lazy baby, but he always smiled.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was Emily
He
too.
always, 3 months, you would look at him and he would just smile, but he was a lazy baby.
Yeah.
And Leslie says, I know something was wrong with Grace around 16 months. It take one of her teachers to say something for it to kick me and get Grace checked.
Oh.
Yeah, it took for DeAndre's dad to say, "Hey, come on, we gotta go get this boy checked." Oh, nothing wrong with my baby. That's my baby.
Yeah. Yeah, we have this video. She she's playing with this ball with Steve and she throws it. No, yeah, no, he threw it. They would play and he threw it to her. She's across the room. He threw it to her and she picked it up and she brought it back to him and she's completely stone faced. Like her face is just no smile. She's just straight face. But she's playing like, a kid that would have a smile. She's running back and forth. But she's like the video is like when I looked back at it a few years later, it was so sad.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just yeah.
Hey, Veronica.
Hey, Veronica. Oh, Annie said the same thing. Her
What's that?
son started speaking as well and then regressed. He's just started to babble now. He's 5 years old, and it's all about the little things. Yes.
Yeah,
Remember?
my son just went mute. Just
Yeah. Hmm.
stopped about
Yeah.
2.5, 3.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about. Some started to talk and then they stopped, and then how
Mm-hmm.
some never even spoke.
Mm-hmm.
I just started to babble now. Yeah.
Charles says I must have been at least 3, maybe even 4, before my parents saw any clear signs that there was anything different about me. Of course, hardly anything was known about autism then, and a lot of doctors thought they knew what's wrong. What doctors thought they knew was wrong. Wow.
Debbie says, have a 3-year-old who has to run around nonstop and is not overstimulating for him. It's actually helps him calm after about literally 9 hours of running nonstop.
Oh, you have one of those too, huh? Yes.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, my son is 13 and he is non-stop. Literally. He can jump for hours at a time, back and forth. He is, oh my God, he scares me so bad. Jumping the basement steps, off the couches. He literally bounces off the wall. So I feel you. I really do. I feel you. Um, so yes, for that we do medicate at times, especially for school time, because that little brain keeps just going and going. And that's another thing the ABA is helping with to try to get them to calm down a little bit, learning how to do things, redirecting him from being so hyper and doing other activities. But yes, I truly understand. Samantha says, I have a question. I am a grandmother raising a child that is autistic, nonverbal, deaf, behavior, and ADHD. Okay. He is always picking on his older brother. He is 8 and his brother is 11. But it is a lot even when I am driving. He will get out of his car seat and start picking on his brother. He pinches, scratches, kicks, spits, and tries to bite. I don't know what to do. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. We have tried different things and goes right back to the same thing. What do you think, Linda? Linda, I lost you. Anyone else have a similar issue like that where kids pinch, scratch, kick,
Unplugged it. Look, how's my camera unplugged?
huh, Linda?
Yeah.
Linda,
Can you hear me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know how you can hear me, but it says my camera became unplugged, but I'm on a laptop.
Yeah, I can't see you.
How did my
But
camera come unplugged?
anyone else you guys have an issue
Here,
with? Um,
you gonna help me?
huh?
Oh no.
Okay. Samantha, is he in any type of therapy?
Oh, here.
Has he been placed like with some type of behavioral therapy to help you guys with that? Hi, Brianna. Brianna says, I noticed something was wrong with my son around 1. He was hitting his milestones and then he just stopped talking. I thought he couldn't hear the way he would ignore and had him tested multiple times. He's 3 now and very active, very happy. He loves music. He goes to a special school that has really helped. He's starting to express himself. The meltdowns we're still working on and at times very overwhelming. Any tips on potty training? Gotta keep working with them, Brianna. Anybody has any potty training tips? We're still working on my son for some issues, and he's 13. Linda, can you give her some tips?
I didn't
Potty
hear the
training,
question. Oh,
potty train for a
um,
3-year old. Hey, Elf, how are you? Elf Kitty Body.
um, it's a boy or girl?
It's a, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I don't went back to here. It's a boy.
Boy.
It's a boy. So he loves music. Maybe the music while he's using a potty.
Yeah. Whatever he likes to do, bring it to the potty. Um, to spend most of the time. To spend frequent time. Like frequent trips to the potty. That's what I did. I just brought things to the potty that to make potty time interesting. So you don't want it to be boring time there. And that's what I did with Emily. So I made it where okay, it's not going to be boring sitting time waiting there. And then even make a schedule or make rewards for going to the potty.
Okay, Samantha says that her grandson is in behavior therapy, but he does the same thing to the therapist. Does anybody else have that issue with any of their children where they pick with their siblings or where they pick with their siblings? And she also says the child still picks with the therapist too. So the therapist is trying to help. Can you hear me, Linda?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So did you hear the question about the behavior?
The one with the behavior in the car.
Yeah. And he also does that with the therapist. He's in behavior therapy, but he also picks with the therapist.
I don't know, because I would have recommended behavioral.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. And how old is he? He's car seat age. I mean, what is he? Three?
He's
She said
8. He's 8.
he's 8.
Yep, and he
Okay,
picks
so
with his 11-year-old brother.
oh, I don't know.
Oh, she says he doesn't do that to his therapist, but only when he has a meltdown.
Okay. uh with that kind of thing, like what we did with Emily when she got to the point with behaviors, the thing that worked for her and the only thing that worked for her, and we didn't like to do this, but it was the only thing that worked, was the reward system. So the more difficult she got, the more we gave her. I mean, it didn't seem right, but that's what worked. So the more difficult her behavior got at school, so what we did was like, okay, so the more difficult her behavior got at school, okay, Emily, we made trips to the store on Fridays. If she had a good week at school, we took her out and we bought her something on Friday. And that's what we did. I mean, I don't know how the frequency would be with you guys, but that's what we did. And uh, so a neurotypical child, no, that doesn't seem right, but that's what worked for Emily, and that's what changed her behavior. Um, because it had to have incentive, and that's how it works with autism.
And Benita, going back to the potty training, Benita says, I finally got my son to start going to the potty by music, make a song for him. He loves music. So now he will go to the potty, but not while sleeping or in car, but singing help minds. He just turned 4. Okay, that's a good idea. And Monique says, I'm still working on Justice and he's 14, but at night he uses the toilet in the daytime. Same thing here, Monique, but I also have the issue with a little bit. He's getting better. Um, Charles said, when I dirtied my pants, my mom would remind me that I needed to stay clean like a train. I gradually learned.
Uh, okay, so Sheila is in. Hopefully, Sheila's still here. Yes. Okay. So Sheila says, so OMG, yes, my daughter's constantly running and jumping as well. I run an in-home daycare, and she still will run around the kids and not into them. But otherwise, she will pay no mind to them. She's been in speech therapy with early intervention for a year now, and it has helped her start to babble. She doesn't want to look at or play with other kids. Sheila, the only reason why this made me kind of chuckle is because I can totally relate with that, with the no interest or the lack of interest with other kids and the whole situation. And I can't remember how old you said she was. Um, oh, she's young. That's right. Um, she's you don't clearly have a uh, you're still going to get her a test and everything. So Emily too. As long as I've had Emily, I started daycare before I've had Emily. So I also have an in-home daycare, and I've had it for 21 years now. So and Emily's 14. Emily's always been the same way. So yeah, that's exactly how Emily has always been with daycare. No interest with other kids ever. Um, that's how she's always been with the kids. And she'll run in between the kids, never into the kids. She's did that at OT as well. They would say that she would run around, she would do all this stuff, and I would always get scared. But the occupational therapist said she would do all that, but she would never ever run into a baby. She'd always run close to the babies, but it was like she wouldn't be looking, but she would be looking. She would be looking like, I guess, out her peripheral or whatever. And they said they weren't concerned about it. I would be like, no, Emily. I would think she was gonna run into the babies, but yeah, but she never did. Um,
Mark
Annie,
says, my son loves music too. I will try it. He's 9. Thanks. Okay, that was a good suggestion.
oh Mark, yeah.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Uh, Annie says, mine can grab others with force. It is less aggressive now, very rare, unless he is super upset. That's what Emily does with when she's having a meltdown.
Monique says, because of his physical disability, he has a hard time cleaning himself. We're working on that too. Okay. And Leslie says, Grace gets social therapy to help her play with other kids. It's helping a little more, but her speech works better. She still be by herself. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're working on with DeAndre so he can, interact with other kids. But he does fine just by himself. Oh,
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Nita?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay. 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 And yes, my 3.5-year-old girl hates other kids in the daycare playing with any toys. Yes. Yeah, we used to just keep Emily's toys. Emily's toys have always been separated. Um, she will grab them and throw them on the ground. It's awful. I have to protect them from her. I try to distract her with the tablet, and it works most times. Yeah. Uh, yeah. It's a it's totally, it's like I have Emily and then I have daycare. They're totally two different things, and it always has been. It's been just two separate things. My job and then Emily. um, You see, I tried letting my daughter play with her tablet on the toilet to try to get her to use it, but she just plays with the toilet water. She really has no interest at all in the potty training. Yeah, that's how Emily was too with me. What I did with Emily was I tried. I brought books in there. I brought her tablet. No, we didn't have a tablet then. We had her DVD player, and she was just
Mhm.
watching DVD player the whole time, just watch it. I brought books. Finally, she was just getting too big. Like those those dirty diapers were just really bad. So what I did one time, I was like, okay, we're just gonna go sit in there. We're just gonna play Play-Doh. We're gonna read books. We're gonna watch DVDs, and I'm sitting there with her. So I put a chair across the, one of those little kids chairs. I put one
Mhm.
across the toilet, from the toilet. She was on the toilet. I'm sitting across from her. We're reading books. We're doing all this stuff. It was about an hour, and I was sitting with her. We just kept reading books and watching movies, and then watching videos. So then I said, okay, well now I have to go. So we switched, and then I went. I got up and then I said, now you go. She got up there. She instantly went. But it was like I guess she didn't know what I was telling her to do until she had a visual of what to do. Like, oh, go pee. And she got
Mhm.
up there, she went pee, and she was potty trained from there. So we put a little potty in I know, but we deal with autistic children. So we put a little potty in my room next to the door, and when she had to go, she pulled the
Right
pin
there.
and go potty right there. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's how she had to go. It was kind of like a visual, like you know she had to know what I was talking about instead of the verbal cue, get up there and go pee, that kind of thing.
Yeah. DeAndre would go, especially if, they had started him on the schedule, but his crutch was the pull ups, and we didn't make it any better. So he had to have a pull up on for the longest. Underwear wouldn't do. And then I finally had to say, hey, everybody, they got to go in the garbage. Because he would find them. If I put them way up in the closet in the back, and I would come out and he would have one on, and I'd be like, he would sneak them out. I just didn't
Oh.
understand it. So, yeah, no more, don't buy anymore. So that was his crutch. And now he will not wear briefs. He has to have boxers. So
Really? Hmm.
yes, he has to have his little boxers. So if you try to put briefs on him, he's gonna say no, and he's like,
Yeah. And that's the same thing I did with Emily when she finally was getting closer to getting her cycle. Was and then yeah, when she started to get ready to get close to getting her cycle, was kind of like okay, she's gonna flip out. When she sees it, the first time when she comes home, or when she goes to the bathroom and she sees this, in her panties. She's gonna flip out, because she would be in the backyard, or she would get a scratch or something, like a little scratch, from the cat or something. She would flip out when she saw red. So I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? So I had to take her into the bathroom with me each time. It's with autism, it's kind of like a visual thing. That's how they learn visually.
mm.
And so when she did get it, she just knew. And she knew how to do the pad and
Yeah,
everything.
I
So
guess
she
that's just like with the boys because they have to see dad do it. They have to go in and get that get that routine. Oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do.
exactly. So yeah, so we have to remember too that some things have to be visual learning.
Hmm.
But and yeah, and then with girls too. So with our little girls, what I did with Emily early on, I think maybe she was 6. I put those little tiny training bras on her because our
Okay.
kids are freaky with clothing.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we don't want to wait until they need a bra. We want to kind of get them used to that feeling before they need the
Or they
bra.
need bra.
Yeah, so when they do need it, okay, we're already set. Okay, so we know how to wear it. We're not dealing with it at that moment.
Charles says my neurotypical sister continued to wet herself at night until my mom stopped putting diapers on her at bedtime. It's like a crutch, those diapers and pull-ups. Like, oh, okay, I don't have to get up and go to the bathroom because I have on a pull-up or a diaper. Okay, we're well, you want to move a little longer, or you want to
It's up to you.
anyone want to come on? I'm gonna
We
put the link in the
uh everybody don't forget we have December 19th. We have Autism on the Seas representative coming to answer any questions and to share their information about their services for our cruise that will most likely be, oh, well, it will be the summer of 2020. So, cruise for autism and us,
yes.
uh,
We're
for
gonna get
autism
some very good information.
with
Very good
autism.
information.
Yes. And it will be our first group cruise, but it will be also our first, I guess we could say, meet and greet.
Yep. Yeah. So I put in a link if anybody would like to join us and say hi or say anything. Before we sign off, feel free, click on that link and it'll bring you on into the live.
Is that somebody coming up?
There's
Hey,
Mr.
Charles.
Charles.
Hello.
I'll be right back. Right back.
Okay.
Hi, Mr.
Charles, you
Charles.
Hi, Bonita. Hi, Linda. Hi, everybody.
how are you? Oh, let me take this down
Oh,
for you.
I'm doing fine. Um,
Good.
yeah. We're Cindy and I are both relaxing. We had friends over for lunch today. I fixed them
Oh,
chicken shawarma.
those are those what is it made on? What is it? Is it a flatbread or is it a bread?
Yeah, yeah. You have we have served with pitas. You spread some hummus on the
Yeah.
pita, then some
Yeah.
tabbouleh salad. You put on that, then the chicken
Mhm.
shawarma,
Oh, okay.
and
Got it.
garlic sauce goes on that. And so I did all the cooking. Cindy did most of the arranging.
Hmm. Nice. Sounds good.
So you know, yeah. I mean, as I've said, I love to cook.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you said that. So what are you guys doing? You guys were you hosting the speaker or was it hospitality or
It's just some friends from the Kingdom Hall. You
oh,
know,
okay.
um, I have to check to see when my group has hospitality next. Because they just made me a group overseer in September, and so
Oh,
my group will have its turn sooner or later. I think last time we had our turn, the speaker didn't accept.
oh, okay, yeah. He just yeah. Yeah. Well, that sounds good.
But how are you and your family doing?
Oh, we're doing good. I just saw my daughter peek around the corner behind me. she that's my older daughter. Uh,
Yeah. And the other thing with us is I just went to the KM school yesterday, so
mhm. Oh, did you?
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, there she is. All right. Did you change the light, Nita?
Huh? I do
Your
look
light goes
pink,
to
don't I? No.
yeah. What happened?
I don't know how that
That's,
happened.
well, that was
Okay.
like the camera that became unplugged on mine. I don't know how.
Okay, Leslie, I'm about to inbox you.
Charles was talking about what he made for his guests. Sounds good.
What did he make?
I can't say that
I
word.
made chicken shawarma. It's a
Oh,
Middle Eastern dish. It's spicy chicken that
oh yeah.
marinate overnight. I marinated this for a couple of days, so the spices
Uh-huh.
really got into the chicken. And you serve it with pitas and hummus and like sauce.
That
Somebody in
sounds good.
North Carolina told us about it because I never heard of it before. So I've fixed it a number of times now.
Yeah, I
So
don't know why
I've
that
loved
is,
to cook.
Veronica. Yeah, they are good. They are good. I've had the chicken. I can't say that name either. But
That's a
yeah.
good one.
So we're waiting on Leslie. You guys have to excuse me. I'm running back and forth to the kitchen because I'm making me a quick hamburger. You know. So,
Oh, is it Leslie? Come on.
hey,
Hey,
Leslie.
Leslie.
Hi.
Hi,
How are you
How
Leslie.
are
this
you?
evening? Okay, you're
Oh,
muted.
I'm fine.
Unmute yourself, Leslie. Oh, there you go.
Is it better?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's better.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you
How
now.
are you?
My finger must have hit it. How is it?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
I'm good. Sorry. Oh, Mark says inbox him.
Okay. I'm gonna inbox Mark.
Donnie said say hi from Donnie and Grace.
What was that?
Donnie said say hi from Donnie and Grace.
All right, I'll say hi back to Donnie.
Where's that? Where's that at? Oh, I
Oh,
can hear that. I can hear that up there. Oh man. Sheila
Linda,
says
what
that
did
they
you
have
have
to.
to eat with that macaroni and cheese?
What was that?
I said, what did you have to eat with that macaroni and cheese?
Oh, that was for Emily. What we had. Oh, I made rice. I air fried chicken wings, and
Oh yeah, I love
I
air
fried.
fryers.
Yeah, I air fried chicken wings for Steve during the game, and he had corn and rice with that. And then Emily doesn't eat. She doesn't eat anything really. So she had the macaroni and cheese, and she won't eat like chicken skin or seasoning or anything really like that. So I have to cook her a chicken breast with like a bouillon cube, so it doesn't. She can't see the seasoning or anything on it.
Oh
So
yeah.
cut up the breast. Yeah. So that's what she had, and she had macaroni and cheese, and
I
they
was
keep
cooking
eating.
fish and Grace was like, yuck, I don't eat that. I said, yes, you do. Next thing I know, she ate 2 pieces of it.
Did she?
Yes.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
And she ate her
I,
macaroni and cheese because Grace likes macaroni and cheese now. Because I've explained it to her. You love noodles, you love cheese. That's all it is together. Well, now she
that's
eats
what
it.
we said. Good. That's how we got Emily to eat it too. And we got her to eat like one or two noodles at a time. Then we
Uh-huh.
upped it to like six, and then we did like 10, and then we're like, and then we got to a plateful, and then now she will eat it. And we had her prep it, prepare it, and still eat it, even though she knows there's butter and other stuff in it.
Yep.
So,
That's
yeah.
Grace.
Well,
Linda, are you in the dashboard StreamYard?
Yeah.
Okay, if Mark comes in, let him in because I have to go turn my hammer.
Okay.
well,
Oh yeah.
talking about tricking kids with food, when I was growing up, I didn't like onions. Well, Mom would fix tongue with this sauce that, oh, I love the tongue and sauce that went with it. And eventually I found out the sauce was mainly pureed onions But by that time, I liked it so much that it didn't bother me. In fact, I tried to pretend it wasn't made from onions.
See,
Do
I
you
don't
like
like
onions
onions,
now?
but I can cook with them.
You think all this can last?
That's funny how people do that. How they don't. I've seen a lot of people I watch that cook, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't like onions, but I will cook with them. Do you like onions now, Charles? Do you like them now?
No, I don't. I avoid them, but more more because they tend to give me gas. That's
yeah.
more the reason I try to avoid them now. But when cooking things that call for onions, I'll usually use shallots instead because they're less gassy.
Yeah. I love onions.
Like with chicken shawarma, that calls for an onion. So instead, I chopped up a shallot and put it in.
Veronica says Eddie eats salmon because he thinks it's chicken. With Emily, we call everything chicken. With any meat or any kind of protein like that, we're like, oh yeah, you want some chicken? Turkey, everything's chicken for Emily, and then she'll try it.
My niece was like that. We used to have to tell my niece that everything was steak for her to eat it.
Tell Emily that. Yeah, it's that concept. If it's steak too, we'll say you want some chicken, yeah, and she'll try it. Except for bacon, we will say it's bacon. Yeah, and pepperoni, but pepperoni goes into the class with bacon. Because I used to tell her bacon was like pepperoni. She will eat pepperoni. She would take all the, if we have a pizza in the house, she would, and because she doesn't like pizza sauce, she'll take all the pepperonis out of that pizza.
Linda, you see it? You see Mark?
Oh yeah, it just came up. Here we go. Hey Mark. Hey, where are you, Rita, that you saw that?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Charles.
Hey,
Hi,
How
Mark.
are you doing, Mark?
Pork chop is chicken, salmon is chicken. Yes. I'm so lucky my daughter loves food. She'll basically eat anything but veggies.
Oh,
That's how Emily was.
I never was able to figure out how to get my daughter to try a new food when she was growing up. I would tell her, it'll put hair on your chest, but she would usually say, that's what I'm afraid of.
Veronica says hello, Mark. That's what. Yeah, Emily used to eat everything. She used to eat every single thing except for sweet potatoes, and then bananas were the first thing to go. And then everything left except for a handful of things. Now she eats no fruits and no vegetables. Almost everything. Everything is gone. Emily, what are you getting into, Emily?
Yes, you did.
Oh, I used the little teeny tiny one.
Oh, so you didn't use every
Well, it looks like people because the calendar's behind here too.
one is when that happens.
So it was down there when you go down. No, it was on the shelf. So you went downstairs.
So hello, everybody. Y'all have to excuse me because I'm making my little dinner, having hamburger.
What time is it there, Mark?
1:20 a.m.
Oh, it's late.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's really late there. Yeah.
A.M. UK.
Well, burgers, Nita.
Hey, Mark.
You're
all right?
5 hours. You're 5 hours difference from us. Well, from me and Miss Nita, and I think probably maybe Charles.
Anybody on the East Coast?
Charles, is it 20 after 8 at your place?
because I'm in Connecticut.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Where's he at?
That's right, yeah, because I'm in Connecticut, Eastern Zone.
He's in New England.
Yeah, he's 8 hours ahead of me.
In 8 hours, yep, with Miss
Miss Linda.
England, you're
Yeah.
old.
Well, that just means he really loves this group because he stays up to watch the Sunday night.
That's all right.
Yeah, he does. We have to give it to him.
We love Mark too. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Oh, an hamburger.
Yeah, I checked on him earlier today because I hadn't seen him through the week. I was like, what happened to Mark? Yeah, you know how we normally see him around. I was like, what happened? him. Yeah.
Be right back.
Okay. Yeah.
She's making hamburgers. You gotta keep an eye on him.
Oh, she's frying it like she's really cooking it right now.
Yeah, she's really cooking hamburgers right now. She's gotta have dinner, she said.
Yeah, right, Veronica.
Yeah, I'm great, Linda. Thanks for coming today.
What was that?
And thanks today, Linda. It's a bit busy.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, because I hadn't seen you around much this week, but yeah, I know things get busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope your family goes well.
Introducing McDonald's bacon. Oh, what's going on with yeah, the family's we're doing good too. Yeah. What's the weather like there? Is it spring there or is it still winter?
Winter. Rain and rain.
Yeah.
What part of the UK?
What part of the UK are you in, Mark?
Manchester.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
say that again.
home of Manchester United.
Northwest Manchester.
Home of Manchester United.
Manchester. Okay.
Charles, yes, I am.
I'm in a guy from Manchester, down in Florida.
Yeah, home of the soccer team.
My baby. Grace, say hi. Say hi.
No.
Say hi. Look, Miss Linda saying hi.
Hi.
Hi, Grace.
Her usual outfit on.
Hi,
Hey,
Grace.
Oh, yeah.
she has a normal outfit on.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, my mom was over my house all day baking cookies. Well, Grandma makes her keep clothes on. Oh, that was a bad. Oh, yes. I tell my mom, she's in her house, just let her go. I keep the heat up warm enough to where she stays warm, just let her alone. Well, all day long, like 3 or 4 different times, my mom had to fight for her to put her clothes back on because she would run into her bedroom, take them off, come running back out. My mom would be like, go get dressed. Like, that's the only thing my mom does that's tough on my daughter as far as making her keep clothes on.
Yeah. I was saying Grace had her normal outfit on.
She just got out of the bath a little bit ago, too. It's almost bedtime.
Yeah.
Bedtime, yes, that time of the night.
Yeah, she comes crawling up here on Mommy's lap every night and wants me to rub her back in her arms, and then she's ready to go to bed.
Hi, Leslie. Where are you from? You've got a strong American accent.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Cool.
Yeah, I'm like 45 minutes away from the Pittsburgh area.
South Pittsburgh.
South of Pittsburgh. Yep. And it's easy to say
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
so do you root for the Pirates and the Steelers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My partner's granddad's from the
Accent in our region.
Yeah,
We have our own accent.
Yeah, they say we have our own accent, like in our region.
Yeah, it's
like
different states.
Yeah, different states, because like we have guys that are in our town right now and have been for a while that are from like West Virginia and Louisiana and stuff doing pipe work. And they said that we talk funny.
You don't talk funny. Just different accents.
Now, I love the way Mark talks.
Thank you, Nita. But I just love America. What you're doing over there, it's just amazing. I can move over there tomorrow. I can really move over there and fit in very well.
Yes.
Sheila says, I'm hoping, no, Sheila, I lost it. Where is it? Hold on a second. It's in reference to, okay. Sheila says, OMG, Leslie, I can relate so much. My 3.5-year-old daughter is a nudist. She hates wearing clothes. I'm lucky that she keeps them on at school.
Oh, yeah, she keeps them on at school. Like I said, like a month or so ago, she had an accident at school. She went to go in and went to the bathroom because she uses the bathroom at school like no problem because she sees all the other kids doing it. But at home's a totally different story. So she clogged up the toilet one time, and water went everywhere. She come walking out of the bathroom completely naked because she got wet. And the teacher's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And here it was because Grace was wet and water was everywhere. And they said she was just running around naked, like with no problem. I said, "Welcome to my house every day after school."
DeAndre does that too. He has, well, not completely naked, but
Wow.
as soon as he gets in the house, he has to take off his pants.
Oh yeah, Grace stops right at the front door, takes all of her clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
Socks, shoes first, then pants, shirt, down to the undies.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what Sheila said. With Emily, she would just want to have her pajamas on, so we would just make, or her house clothes, so we would just make sure that she got into them because we have daycare. Oh, but Sheila has a
Yeah,
daycare
well,
too. I forgot it.
it's PJs.
Yeah,
PJs, home from school, PJs on, chill and relax.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Grace
Yeah,
used to spend a lot of time in PJs before she started getting naked.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be able to keep
Nice and
PJs
comfy.
on her.
We had that stage where he got naked, but PJs went back on. But
Yeah.
through that, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
every once in a while, yeah, that's what we had. Every once in a while, we'll catch her like naked. We're like, when she was younger, we're like, oh no, But yeah, so we have to make sure she gets into those those pajamas. Yeah, I don't know how
The front door
Sheila.
open, you think, yeah, postman. Oh no, put your clothes on.
Yeah, there's a couple of times. Yeah, we caught her. We're like,
Yeah, Grace has
and we
more
have
clothes. Grace has more clothes than me and her dad put together. She has, I can't tell you how many sets of pajamas she has. Every time we go to the Walmart or Target, she comes home with new pajamas, but barely ever wears them.
Yeah,
We were
Emily
saying,
used to outgrow them so quick.
Sometimes you just pick your battles, and that's one that I don't fight
thought
with.
that was bad. The one time vacation, and I took off my clothes and I thought it was bad the time we were on vacation. I did, and I was getting ready to go swimming in the lake by where our cottage was, and I realized my swim trunks were and grabbed the swim trunks. Now, that was bad. I guess that was nothing.
What happened? Did he lose them or something? What happened? Oh, what is Emily getting? Emily. Yeah. I washed her hair today.
Hi, Emily.
Hey, Emily.
Emily, you want to come say hi? Come here. Oh, over here, back behind here. She needs her haircut.
Emily.
Look.
There she is.
Hi.
And she said, well, now, bye.
Hi, Emily.
Exactly. Sheila says, my daughter loves Paw Patrol, so we bought a ton of Paw Patrol clothes, PJ dresses, outfits, nothing works. She just prefers to be nude, LOL.
Yes, that's my Grace.
Veronica says, I just love Emily's last hi. That's what they said about me when I moved to New York, Arizona, that I talk funny. Eddie's the same way.
like I said, I have more PJs than clothes. It's amazing.
Well, okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta eat my hamburger. So,
all right,
so I'm outie.
Yep, and you guys remember December 19th, which will be in between this Let's Talk Autism and the next one. So December 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will have Autism on the Sea here.
Ooh, that makes my stomach sick even thinking about it.
Oh, come on, Leslie.
No, I don't do water.
I need a
I
burger.
do not do water.
So they will be here. I could tell Nita was ready to go eat. LOL. So
leave me alone,
welcome
Veronica.
to all the people that viewed today. So, anyways, we will be here next week, same time, same place, and
Thanks, Nita.
thank you everybody
Thanks,
for
Linda.
tuning in. Thanks. Thank you, Mark.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody. Have a
guys.
good night.
Appreciate you all.
See you
Bye
guys all
bye.
next week.
Night all.
I'm
Talk
going
to
to
you guys
eat.
later.
All right. Night, everyone.
Bye. Bye,
Thanks.
everyone.
Night,
Bye.
everyone.
Good night.
Night.